The Cogitating Ceviché presents 10 Emerging Technological Frontiers to Watch in 2025 by Conrad Hannon. Narration by Amazon Polly. As global industries continue to navigate the complexities of an ever-accelerating digital era, the year 2025 promises a landscape where advanced tools, platforms, and methodologies become dramatically more integrated into everyday life. What follows are 10 evolving trends, some subtle, some transformative, that together hint at a more interconnected, efficient, and responsive world of technology. These are not the typical predictions of smarter phones or faster laptops. Instead, they delve into more nuanced arenas, where innovation meets localized needs, ethical concerns, and entirely new forms of manufacturing and collaboration. Localized high precision, AI. Co-pilots for complex tasks. By 2025, artificial intelligence will no longer be confined to a handful of centralized consumer services. Instead, we will witness the rise of hyper-specialized AI co-pilots integrated deeply into professional environments. Consider how radiologists currently work. They examine thousands of images and scans each year, each requiring careful scrutiny. Soon, AI systems built into local hospital networks will handle the initial pass, detecting subtle anomalies that might otherwise go unnoticed, and suggesting priority cases to reduce diagnostic latency. Beyond healthcare, small-scale legal practices will benefit from AI-powered research assistants capable of parsing dense law libraries at record speed, securely and on-site, so that no sensitive data ever leaves the premises. This trend represents a shift from general-purpose AI to domain-specific intelligences that enhance human expertise, rather than replace it. With greater computational power available at local levels and increasingly refined data governance models, the era of localized AI collaboration is dawning. 2. Hybrid quantum classical cloud computing platforms. Quantum computing's promise has long seemed just out of reach, tethered to a future that's always 5 years away. Yet by 2025, we can expect the first commercially meaningful hybrid solutions to gain traction. These platforms won't abandon classical computing. Instead, they'll pair traditional servers with niche quantum processors to tackle problems that benefit from quantum optimization. While the term universal quantum computing might remain a distant goal, early adopters in sectors like finance and global logistics will solve select problems more efficiently. Imagine a multinational retailer adjusting its supply chain in near real time, using a combination of quantum-inspired algorithms and classical computing muscle to handle shipping routes, inventory cycles, and currency hedges. Such hybrid models acknowledge the reality that quantum computers are still specialized tools, not magic wands. However, their introduction into mainstream cloud ecosystems will mark a subtle yet meaningful step forward, enabling more enterprises to experiment with quantum capabilities and apply them selectively where they offer a genuine edge. 3. Energy harvesting. Wearables with on-body networks. The wearables market has grown steadily for years, but battery life remains a persistent constraint. By 2025, new classes of energy harvesting devices may begin to alleviate this issue. These gadgets will sip power from ambient sources, the user's body heat, the kinetic energy of a jog, or even low-level electromagnetic radiation in the environment. The result? Medical-grade sensors that can track a patient's heart rhythm or insulin levels continuously without daily charging. Imagine a lightweight patch that measures hydration and glucose, transmitting data to a smartwatch or phone via a tiny mesh network of miniature antennas spread across clothing. Freed from bulky batteries, these devices will be less obtrusive, allowing long-term monitoring that feels effortless. While early models might be limited in functionality, the mere existence of these self-sustaining networks will reshape how we think about continuous personal health data and low-profile personal electronics. 4. Localized manufacturing microfactories for rapid product iteration. Manufacturing today often involves long lead times, complex supply chains, and significant capital investment in large-scale facilities. In response, We're poised to see the rise of microfactories, compact, flexible production lines that leverage 3D printing, modular robotics, and advanced automation. By 2025, these nimble setups will be standard in certain sectors, allowing startups and established firms alike to iterate product designs in days rather than months. Instead of waiting for tooling from overseas or navigating protracted logistical bottlenecks, a design tweak can be tested and produced on-site. A small automotive accessories firm, for example, might run microfactories that pivot from one design iteration to another, swiftly, drastically shortening the concept to market timeline. This shift could democratize manufacturing, lowering barriers to entry and encouraging innovation in hardware-focused industries previously dominated by giants. 5. Intelligent agricultural robots for dynamic crop management. As climate patterns shift and arable land becomes more precious, agriculture must adapt. By 2025, we can anticipate fleets of intelligent agricultural robots that not only follow preset instructions, but also respond dynamically to evolving conditions. These advanced machines could survey fields continuously with multispectral imaging, identifying where irrigation is needed or where pests are emerging. They might initiate targeted watering systems or release natural predators against specific pests, all guided by microclimate data and predictive models tailored to each square foot of farmland. While large, centralized agribusinesses have begun adopting drones and sensors, the next step is self-directed robotics, shifting from periodic data collection to immediate action. This precision approach reduces waste and enhances yield, potentially stabilizing crop output amid environmental uncertainties. 6. Synthetic biology. Toolkits for on-demand materials. Biotechnology has long promised to reshape manufacturing, and 2025 could see the first routine use of synthetic biology toolkits to create custom materials at unprecedented speed. Instead of waiting months for supply chain adjustments, labs will craft batches of engineered polymers, enzymes, or even cellular building blocks in a matter of days. This might enable a construction firm to test a stronger, more temperature-resistant polymer for roofing panels without the usual wait time or expense. In parallel, biotech startups might produce biodegradable plastics tailored to meet specific industry requirements, ensuring that sustainability no longer requires compromises on quality or performance. Over time, these toolkits will foster a biological-based manufacturing ecosystem that treats genes and cells as fundamental building blocks, just as we now treat binary code and microchips. 7. Privacy-protecting computer vision at the edge. As surveillance cameras proliferate, public concern over data security and individual privacy intensifies. By 2025, we're likely to see a new generation of privacy-protecting computer vision systems that process footage right where it is captured. Instead of streaming raw video to distant servers, these edge-based devices will analyze, filter, and abstract information on-site, sharing only aggregate or anonymized results. Consider a retailer that wants to understand how customers navigate store aisles. Rather than collecting and storing identifiable faces, the system would transmit only non-personal metrics like foot traffic density or shelf dwell time. This approach reduces the risk of data breaches and eases regulatory compliance, while preserving valuable insights. The rise of such privacy-first technologies will signal a more balanced approach to data collection, easing tensions between business interests, regulatory frameworks, and civil liberties. 8. Adaptive virtual presence systems for remote work and education. The shift to remote work and digital classrooms accelerated dramatically in recent years. By 2025, simply hopping on a video call will feel antiquated as adaptive virtual presence tools take center stage. These platforms will offer persistent collaborative spaces that go beyond static faces on screens. Teams spread across time zones might interact in a shared digital office, where projects, documents, and simulations are available in three-dimensional form. Students could participate in science lessons within a virtual laboratory, manipulating simulated chemical compounds or dissecting virtual organisms without leaving their homes. Flexible avatars, spatial audio, and environment-specific interaction models will make these experiences dynamic rather than transactional. As network latencies shrink and immersive hardware improves, working and learning remotely will shift from good enough stopgaps to genuinely enriching methods of interaction. 9. Ultra-flexible battery substrates for foldable and rollable electronics. The arrival of foldable phones and rollable displays has been heralded as a breakthrough in device design, but powering these new form factors remains challenging. Battery technology, long dependent on rigid casings and chemical configurations, will evolve to match the flexibility of new display and sensor technologies. By 2025, we can expect early commercial deployments of thin-film, bendable batteries that contour to shapes previously impossible for rigid cells. Picture a health sensor that wraps snugly around a patient's arm, or a lightweight drone with flexible wings that fold for transport. While these first-generation flexible batteries may not match the capacity of conventional lithium-ion cells, their ability to conform to unusual geometries will enable entirely new product categories, potentially shrinking the gap between conceptual prototypes and market-ready devices. 10. Low-cost, real-time language translation. Chips for on-device communication. Real-time language translation already exists via smartphones and cloud-based services, but these setups often require reliable connectivity and can be slow or cumbersome. By 2025, low-cost translation chips, dedicated hardware modules that reside in hearing aids, office telephones, or even children's educational toys, will make seamless offline translation a reality. Imagine a traveler's wristband that instantly converts a foreign guide's instructions into the listener's native tongue without buffering or data charges. In classrooms, students from diverse linguistic backgrounds could communicate naturally, aided by unobtrusive translation that never leaves their school's secure network. Such technology could open doors not only in tourism and education, but also in healthcare, diplomatic discussions, and crisis management scenarios where misunderstandings can have serious consequences. This shift to embedded, real-time translation will be more than a convenience. It could bring disparate communities closer and facilitate richer global interaction. Conclusion. Individually, these predictions highlight incremental improvements, localized AI that doesn't outsource data, early quantum capabilities that serve niche tasks, and wearables that never need to be plugged in. Collectively, they suggest a more adaptive technological ecosystem. By 2025, technology may feel less like a set of rigid tools and more like an evolving partner, responsive to local conditions, personal needs, and societal values. From how we manufacture goods to how we share knowledge and communicate across languages, 2025's technological landscape may be defined by flexibility, specialization, and privacy-aware intelligence. It won't be a clean break from the past, but a gradual shaping of innovation in service of more nuanced human goals and contexts. Thank you for your time today. Until next time, keep it real.